everyone, it's SCP Shuffle here, back with another video. This time we're delving into Blender, the one and only 3D program, which is free, which is awesome. Today I'm just going to give you guys a quick guide on how to create a low poly template terrain map with some assets and different trees, kind of like this one I'm showing here. So I guess we're going to just jump straight into it, and here we go. Alright, so go ahead, open up Blender. Let's load up new file. And to do that, we're going to go up to the top left. We're going to go File, New, Reload, Startup File. There we go. You should be in this screen. You should have one cube right here. So we're going to go ahead and do X, delete that. We're not going to need that. We're going to go ahead and add a simple plane. Nice flat plane right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to scale it up a little bit. There we go. I find about to the edge of the little grid that you're starting off with is kind of nice. Just makes it look pretty cool. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to go into edit mode by clicking tab. We're going to look at this subdivide button over to the left. I find usually 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks is pretty good. You can go higher if you want, but I find 4 or 5. Let's do 5. 4 or 5 is usually pretty good for this size. Okay. So now we're gonna deselect all that. And next, you can do this a couple of ways. What I found is pretty nice. We're gonna uneven the terrain essentially, because right now you just got a flat plane that's, a flat plane. It doesn't look very interesting, doesn't look low poly at all. It's just one polygon actually. So we're gonna go into edit mode. We're gonna click space. Type in random, and you're going to see mesh select random. We're going to click on that, and it's going to select a bunch of random vertexes. And this is exactly what we want. It's going to create a nice uneven balance between all the vertexes. So here, if we go into 1, switch to front view, we can kind of slide those up just a tad, like so. So about that much. And now, you can see we got a nice looking terrain map already. You got some hills, you got a little uneven terrain, because in real life, you don't have a completely flat area. And what we can do next is go into the materials tab over to the right, click on new, and now it's got a material applied to it. And we're going to name this material. We're going to type in grass, just to stay organized. And we might as well rename the plane to terrain map or terrain floor, whichever one you like better. We're going to go into color. Over here we're going to change it to a nice green. And if you want to see what your material is looking like, just go down here to this little sphere and click on material. And now you can see if I change this, it'll change to whatever color. So we're going to go for a nice kind of dark light green. There we go. That's looking pretty good. That's a good green. Alright, now going back to the materials tab, we're actually going to set up all the materials we're going to need for today. So we're going to create a new material right here. We're going to name this one sand. And we're not going to color them yet. We can do that later. Sand. We're going to put in some rocks because we're going to make some mountains here. We're going to do another material. We're going to name that snow for the mountains as well. Let me just capitalize that R. Perfection is key. There we go. Alright, now back at the sand material, we can change the color so that it looks like sand. That should be good right there. Rock, usually it's just, you shouldn't even really color that. You should just lower the white until it's like a gray, kind of blackish. You can make that however dark you want. I find around a third of the way up is pretty good. And then for snow, you can just leave that at white if you want. You can make it a little higher, but I find what it's set as default is pretty good. We're going to go back into edit mode, and we're going to click on this button right here, and we're going to enable proportional editing. Now what that's going to do is when we select a vertex, let's say, and we do something with it, like drag it upward, there's going to be a little circle. You can see this circle around here, and that's showing how many vertexes it's editing at the same time when you select just one. I'll give you an example right here. So we're going to select this vertex. We're going to drag it all the way up. And you can see, instead of if I had this off, if I just dragged up one vertex, it doesn't drag all the surrounding ones with it. This one, however, did. It brought up all the ones that were surrounding it up to about 2 vertex range. So we're going to go ahead and undo those by clicking Control Z. And now you can use the scroll wheel, if I enabled it. There we go. When you select a vertex, you can use, and you're moving it, you can use the scroll wheel to make the circle bigger or smaller. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the mountain here, and we're going to enable proportional editing, and we're just going to keep it at smooth. So now we can grab a point about right here. We can start raising it up and make the circle a little bigger, like that. Should be good. Alright, and now instead of just having one mountain, we'll make a little range. So, we'll have a kind of a smaller mountain over here. Have another one right here. And maybe a few down here. There we go. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. And if you want, you can switch to random and then have the circle surround all the mountains and then drag it up just a little bit, just to give it a little more unevenness and make it cast more shadows in the end. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to go into face, select, turn off proportional editing. We're not going to need that right now. And we're just going to select the mountain. We're going to select all of the mountain. There we go. That's pretty good. Let's do a little more down here. There we go. Alright, awesome. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change that to the rock material. There we go. So now we're getting a little different colors. Now you can tell it's a mountain. It's got rocks in it. It's not made out of grass. And now we're going to go ahead and apply some of the snow. Now we don't want the whole mountain covered in snow unless, you're making a snowy map. So we're going to go ahead and just select a few faces on the very top. Maybe do that. Select some of these. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Get some faces there. The back doesn't really matter too much because you're probably only going to be doing one view of this. And that guy. We're going to change that to snow. There we go. After that's done, we are going to create a river. And we're actually going to make another new material and just label it water. There we go. No surprise. Make it blue, kind of. There we go, like a sky blue almost. We're going to go into edit mode. We're going to click 7 to go into top view. And now we have a nice grid. And we're going to stay in face select. Click C. And here we can also use the mouse wheel to increase the brush size. Let's go about like this. Then we're going to make a nice, we're just going to hold down the left mouse button and just select all these faces right here. There we go. And like that. That looks pretty good. Alright. So now with that selected, we're going to go ahead and apply the water material. Oh, I forgot to select the mountain. Whoops. Alright, we're going to do that one more time. Here we go. Alright, we're going to go like this. River. Ta-da. Alright, and then select water. There we go. That's better. And now, what we can do is we can go ahead and drag it down just a little bit. And you could leave it like that, have a little rough water. But I think it kind of looks like the terrain was just painted blue. So what we can do is press 3. Yeah, 3. And then we're going to select this square button. I used to think this is kind of like scale, but it also kind of evens out the terrain a little bit. We're going to drag it down like that. There we go. So now you can see we made it a little more flat. I might have done too much. There we go. That's pretty good. And we're going to bring it up a little bit. There we go. Alright, so now we got a nice river right here. It's a little sunken in. That looks pretty good. There we go. Alright, next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab the surrounding faces like this without Try not to get the water in there like I just did. If you do get some of the water in there, just click the middle mouse button and it should deselect it. Alright, so we selected all our outlying terrain. We're gonna go ahead and make that sand. There we go. So now that's looking a lot better. Now you can tell it's definitely a river because there's sand next to it. Huh. Alright, and what we're also going to do is select this stuff, and we are going to make that sand as well, just to kind of separate it from the mainland that's over there. Cool. Alright everyone, hopefully you enjoyed that video. That was just part 1 of the low poly tutorial. You can find part 2 in the link in the description, or just click the video in this box. And I'll see you all very soon.